There you are. Hi everyone, warm welcome back to the channel. It's a Sunday, so not the normal day, and that's because it's not the normal video. As you've already worked out from the thumbnail here, I'm doing a product review. Like I always say, only review products that I'm really interested in, or Helen and I are interested in, or we think products that might be of interest to you. This is a product I wouldn't have minded having right at the beginning of the year, to be honest, because we've never been off-grid with the caravan until earlier this year at the Posh Cats Rally down in Suffolk. And what a fabulous weekend it was. And thankfully, because we were off-grid, the sun shone beautifully all over the weekend, and that kept the battery just topped up enough. There was a few times when the battery levels were just starting to go a little bit low, and I was getting a little bit nervous about it. And had it not been, I think, such a beautiful sunny weekend, we may have been in trouble. What we couldn't do, we couldn't watch TV. Not a massive loss for me, but we were constantly being really cautious about what we were doing with electricity. So I would really like to have had this little unit, just for peace of mind, I think. So what is the unit? Well, here it is. It is small. It's not one of those great big massive power banks. To be honest with you, we don't necessarily need that, I don't think, unless we're going to plan some future big time, long stays off grid. But this would have been for us just the perfect solution, I think. And what is it? Well, it's made by Allpowers. It's called the R600, and I'm looking for the label. It's underneath. It's the R600, and here's a close-up of it for you. And it's the it has a 299 watt-hour capacity. If I'm honest, all the technical stuff I don't really understand. I'm not a technical guy, but what I want to know is, what can it do? So we'll have a closer look around it. I'm not very good when it comes to all the technicalities because I don't fully understand all that. Same with a motor car, right? I don't really fully understand how the internal combustion engine of our car works. I just want it to be able to do what I need it to do. And the same applies for me with this. Okay, I'm going to show you some of the spec that's on it, and I'll talk you through really what it's got and what it does. And we'll do a little test. We'll put some stuff on. The first test I did do with this was I actually ran it down. I've been using it for quite a few weeks, just charging up phones, laptops, and stuff like that. I've not really used it in the caravan as yet, but I'm going to plug a few devices in and just see what will work in this and what won't, and we'll see how we go from there. So I've completely flattened this power bank, and then I've plugged it in to recharge it, and within an hour it's gone from 0 to 100% charge, which is what it's sat at right now. So that's quite impressive, to be honest with you. It does also come with an optional extra, which is a solar panel. Now, the solar panel that they sent me with this is something it's a flexible one. I'll show it you now. It's a flexible solar panel. You could probably use it mobile and just position it somewhere around your caravan or your camper or your motorhome or tent, depending on what you're doing. Or even if you wanted to use it in your garden shed. But you could also stick it on the roof. I'm not going to do that in my case. I don't want it on my roof. But you could stick it on the roof of the caravan, or again your camper or your van or whatever, or indeed your garden shed, to give you some power at the bottom of the garden or something. Also in the box you get this nifty little Allpowers bag with some leads in it. What are the leads? Well, obviously your mains power lead for charging. Also in the bag are your solar panel leads, and that just plugs in the side, the little yellow socket, and you can be getting charged into the unit whilst you're actually using it as well. So that's really, really good. And then the final thing that comes in here is your warranty. So claim your warranty, activate your warranty now with Allpowers, and there's some contact details on there, and the warranty itself and the instruction booklet are in this little envelope. So everything you need to know about the product in terms of instructions and warranty are here. But you can do all that online by just scanning the QR code that's on the envelope. So let's just switch the unit on, and to switch the unit on, it's the power button here at the top under the light switch. So just click that on, and here we go, and we're fired up, and we've got 100% charge in the power bank, and it's telling us currently that there's no input or output taking place. And in its current status, it'll last 7 days before it goes flat like that. So let's just try a couple of things out. Let's go over here to these USB-A's, the 18 watt sockets. And for example, I use a lot of rechargeable batteries. mainly in the airband radio, but in clocks and little things and bits and pieces like that. So what I'll need to do first of all is just plug this in. There we go. So that's plugged in. Now nothing happening here in terms of recharging our batteries, because we need to turn on the power switch which powers up all of these USB sockets on the unit. So we'll turn that on. So that's now on. Over here you're going to get a flickering. That's not really like that, it's just the camera picks up this flickering on the lights. So that's now starting to charge these 4 rechargeable batteries for me, which is great. Now in terms of output, that's using little to none. It's only using sort of 3 watts, look, to charge those. And on its current, oh, it's just jumped up to 3/4. So currently, if we just kept that plugged in and did nothing else, this unit would keep doing that for 2 days. But we're using very little power there, obviously. Another area, as a YouTuber, I'm always having to charge up cameras and devices and batteries for that. These are a couple of GoPro batteries that I have, and again I could plug those in here. I always get them the wrong way around, these plugs. There we go, in here, and they should light up because they're starting to charge. That's it. So they're on amber because that means that they need to be charged, so they'll turn green when they're fully charged. So I've now got the AA batteries over here on charge, 4 of them, and I've now got 2 GoPro batteries on charge, and they're both charging nicely. In terms of output though, really no change. It's just jumped up to 4 watts, but it's sort of somewhere between 3 and 4 watts, so 3.5 watts. I could leave that on all day doing that, and that's how long I would get out of the unit, 1 to 2 days, so about 1.5 days probably of power remaining on that. So I'll keep those 2 going for a little while. So what else does it do? Let me show you one thing that I really do like, and that is the wireless charging for the phone. I'm paranoid about my phone being charged. So quite simply, look, there's a wireless output of 15 watts. Here is my phone in its case, and if I put that on there, then you can see it's currently telling me we're at 81% charged. But the main thing is, if you can pick it up, I don't know if it's a bit blurred, it's 81% charged, but it is charging, and you know when the phone's charging because you get that little strike of lightning over the battery in the right hand corner there. So phone's currently charging, my AA's are currently charging, my GoPro batteries are charging, one of which is now up to charge, so it wasn't that bad. So I've also got a couple of wireless lapel mics that I'll just put on charge as well. This lead's pretty handy actually, because it's got the ability to you can plug in a number of devices at one go. So I'm just going to plug these in. So we're now charging 2 lapel mics. It takes a long time to use the battery up on these, so they're pretty charged, but we've got them on charge anyway. 2 GoPro batteries, one of which is now at charge, so I'll take that off and put an old one in, another one. And these AA batteries are charging away nicely over here, and my phone is wirelessly charging on top. So we're now still at 99% of the power bank charge available. We've just jumped up though to 5 watts output, or somewhere between 4 and 5, maybe 4.5, and we've got, we could go all day at this rate because we're using very little in terms of power outage at the moment. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 devices charging, and I'm only using those 2 USB 18 watt sockets down there. Let's see if we can find something else to plug in. So let's have a go plugging something into one of these 3-pin plugs over here. So we need to turn the power on to the side. So that's just powered up. You might have just heard that make a bit of a whirling noise. So that section's turned on. I'll plug in one of our lamps that we use and see what that does. It's very difficult to hold a camera in your hand and do things like this at the same time. Let's plug that in. So that's plugged in there. Oh, there we go. It's a touch sensitive thing. So that's on now. So we've got electric, we've got lights. And now the power output has jumped up to 23, 22, 23 watts coming out, and the charge has just dropped down to 98%. So with all these devices charging currently, so I've got 4, 5, 6 devices charging, and I've got a lamp on, We're good for 9 hours now, so that's obviously made quite a difference in terms of the output. We're good for 9 hours. But let's be honest, if I had the lamps on, I wouldn't want them on for 9 hours. I'd probably want them on for about 3 or something like that, wouldn't I? Before I went to bed, maybe. So I could have that light on, no problem. The other thing that I'm paranoid about keeping charged up is my laptop, which I spend most of my life on. So here's the MacBook here. It's probably pretty well charged. But let's plug it in anyway, if we can get it in here. It's again quite a wide plug, but that's plugged in anyway. That's in. We'll put the power in the side. Probably should have done it the other way around, to be fair. But let's plug that in. That's now charging. You can see that. And that's using very little in the way of output. That's sort of jumped up to what, 37 watts, 35, 34 watts. Oh, 41 watts. Yeah, so we've got quite a bit plugged in now. We've got a laptop. We've got all these devices over here charging, the phone charging wirelessly on top, and we've got a lamp on, all coming out of here at the moment. Remember, this is a small power bank, and I think this is where it comes into its own on items such as this. If you plug a toaster in, or a hairdryer, or a kettle, that ain't going to work. This is not going to work here. We've also got a light, don't forget. So we find ourselves outside, and we need a light on. Then there you go, lights on. Output's jumped up a bit more. We can go like this now for about 4 hours with all these things on. But I'll turn that light off, and that gives us an extra hour on the battery there. It's now got 5 hours remaining. Cool. I wonder if I can plug the TV into this, because that's possibly the one thing Helen missed the most. Let's see if we can get a TV working. Now, we don't have a 12 volt TV. What we have is the sort of standard 240 volt telly. And as you can see from here, look, I've not just got the TV plugged in, I've also got this little 4-way extension down there. I've got the little Roku device plugged in as well. But I'm able to go ahead if I want to now and watch TV. Now, I've turned the lamp off because I needed the sockets really. And if I was watching TV, I may not have the lamp on anyway. But I could watch TV on here and still have all these devices over here charging for more than 4 hours. We're still on 97%. I've been playing around for a little bit off camera as well, just while I got everything plugged in. So that's good. We couldn't watch TV when we were off grid earlier in the year, but with our little Allpowers R600 we can watch TV, and we're only got an output of 45 watts on here anyway. So that's quite useful to know. That would have been, Helen could have watched Coronation Street to her heart's desire. Or we could have gone down on YouTube and watched all of our favourite YouTube buddies on here as well. So as power banks go, it's a small unit. The R600 is a 600 watt power bank. But how does that make my life a lot easier if I'm off gridding? Well, I'll tell you, I can plug the lamps in. I can charge all of my devices, for my cameras and for my laptop and my phone, all at the same time. And I can even watch TV on it, which is great. We can plug the TV in, get the Roku plugged in as well, and we can watch TV. What we can't do is we can't plug powerful devices into this, because it won't take it, it'll just trip. I've tried. I've tried the hairdryer and it just trips. I've tried a 750 watt toaster, and because it is 750 watts, this will trip. And I've tried the kettle, no chance. You know, kettles are very powerful. But the TV, the lamps, all my little devices that I need charging up, this would have made one heck of a difference to us when we were off grid in May. So massive thank you to the guys from Allpowers for sending this to me. I've had it quite a few weeks. I have tried it in the house, in the garden, in the shed and in the caravan, and I like the size of this because it's not one of those great big bulky heavy things. You know, I can lift this over my head. So really handy. I can put this in one of the cupboards in the caravan or in the back of the car, take it with us, and if we're off grid, perfect. And although I've not really demonstrated it today, it also comes with the sort of standard 12 volt car port output as well, which is useful if you want to plug stuff in using that plug. It works in pretty much the same way as it would do in your car. So, like I always say, if you have been, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment. Let us know what you think of this. In terms of price, I'm going to flash it up on the screen now, and I'll put a link in the description below as well, so you can click on that link and pick this product up for yourself. And you can get it on Amazon as well. We've got an Amazon shop. If you click on the link there, you'll pay the same price as everyone else, but we would earn a small commission. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll catch you in our usual video on Thursday afternoon at 4:30 p.m. But until then, bye for now.